whose base is under fire. Iran targets American installations across the Middle East. Is the region on the brink of war? Good evening. This is a special report from the Global News Desk. The date is 28 February 2026. We are now hours into what can only be described as a regional war, and the initial wave of Iranian retaliation has fundamentally redrawn the battle lines. What began this morning as a coordinated US-Israeli campaign against targets inside Iran has triggered a massive, multi-front response that has brought fire and destruction to some of the most strategically important American military installations in the Middle East. Iran has made good on its threat, launching hundreds of missiles and drones not just at Israel, but at a network of US bases across the Gulf, turning host nations into active battlegrounds. To understand the full scope of what is happening, we must take you on a tour of the region, country by country, base by base, as the scale of this coordinated assault becomes clear. The Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps, the IRGC, announced shortly after the first US bombs fell on Tehran that all American and Israeli interests in the Middle East were now legitimate targets. Within hours, that declaration became a terrifying reality. Let's begin in Qatar, home to the most significant American military footprint in the entire region. The Al Udeid Air Base, located southwest of Doha, is not just another base, it is the forward headquarters of United States Central Command, CENTCOM, and hosts around 10,000 American troops. It is the nerve center for all US military operations in the Middle East. At approximately 12:30 p.m. local time, the first wave of Iranian ballistic missiles began falling in and around Doha. The Qatari government has since provided a detailed accounting of the attack. In an official press conference, the Ministry of Defense confirmed that a staggering 65 ballistic missiles and 12 drones were intercepted by their air defense systems. However, they also confirmed what many had feared. 2 ballistic missiles successfully struck the Al Udeid military base itself. Additionally, a drone targeted an early warning radar installation. While Qatari officials were quick to emphasize that there were no fatalities, they confirmed that 8 people were injured, with 1 in serious condition. The Foreign Ministry issued a strong statement, describing Iran's attack as a flagrant violation of its national sovereignty and a direct infringement on its security. The statement emphasized that this was an unacceptable escalation. The damage, however, goes beyond the initial strikes. Subsequent analysis by the New York Times, using satellite imagery, has revealed the true cost. At Al Udeid, the Iranians appear to have successfully damaged the FPS-132 long-range ballistic missile early warning radar. This is a critical piece of infrastructure, valued at approximately $1.1 billion, designed to provide early detection of threats across a 3,000-mile radius. Its degradation significantly blinds the US air defense network in the region. Moving south across the Gulf, we come to the United Arab Emirates, a nation that has positioned itself as a hub of global commerce and stability. Today, that image was shattered. Loud explosions were reported across Abu Dhabi, the capital, shortly after noon. Witnesses on the ground described scenes of panic. A Malaysian citizen living in Abu Dhabi, Noor Hamiza Ahmad, shared a harrowing account with the Bernama news agency. She described hearing loud noises, initially mistaking them for the sound of sand being poured from construction trucks. "A chill ran down my spine when I realized what was really happening," she said. She reported that at least 10 missiles passed over her rooftop in Khalifa City, just 50 kilometers from the Al Dhafra air base. Her telecommunications provider sent an SMS urging residents to take shelter in secure buildings and stay away from windows. The primary target in the UAE was the Al Dhafra air base, located south of Abu Dhabi. This base is a key hub for the US Air Force, supporting refueling and surveillance operations. The UAE State News Agency, WAM, confirmed that the military had intercepted several Iranian ballistic missiles. However, they also reported a tragic consequence. Falling missile debris struck a residential area in Abu Dhabi, killing at least one civilian of Asian nationality. The UAE government condemned the attack as a dangerous escalation and a cowardly act, while reserving its full right to respond. But the UAE was not done. Further strikes targeted commercial and strategic infrastructure. On 1st March, a missile struck near the Jebel Ali port in Dubai, a critical strategic hub for the US Navy and one of the busiest shipping ports in the world. The full extent of the damage to military assets at Jebel Ali remains unclear, but the message from Tehran was unmistakable. No American-linked facility, whether military or economic, is safe. The President of the UAE, Mohammed bin Zayed Al Nahyan, later stated that the country was effectively in a state of war. The numbers coming from the UAE's defense ministry are staggering. Since the start of the conflict, they have detected 262 ballistic missiles, 1,475 drones, and 8 cruise missiles targeting their territory. Next, we turn to Bahrain, a small island nation that hosts the headquarters of the US Navy's 5th Fleet. This facility, located in the Jaffa area of the capital Manama, is the cornerstone of American naval power in the Persian Gulf, overseeing operations in a region that includes the Gulf, Red Sea, and Arabian Sea. At around noon on Saturday, loud explosions and plumes of thick black smoke were reported rising from the Jaffa area. The Bahraini National Communications Center confirmed that the kingdom was subjected to attacks launched from outside its territory. Satellite imagery later analyzed by experts showed significant damage to the 5th Fleet Service Center, including radomes, warehouse, and communication terminals. A Pentagon assessment, cited by a congressional official, put the damage to the 5th Fleet headquarters at around $200 million. The Bahrain Defense Force has been fighting a continuous battle since then, reporting that its air defenses have intercepted and destroyed 105 missiles and 176 drones launched by Iran. Moving to Kuwait, the scale of the damage becomes even more severe. Kuwait hosts several critical US bases, most notably Camp Arifjan, a key logistical hub southwest of Kuwait City, and the Ali Al Salem Air Base. These facilities came under heavy fire. The Kuwaiti Ministry of Defense stated that it had intercepted hundreds of drones and missiles since the start of the attacks. However, not all were stopped. Satellite imagery from Planet Labs confirmed significant infrastructure damage at Ali Al Salem Air Base, including damage to over a dozen structures, aircraft shelters, and areas near runways. At Camp Arifjan, the damage was even more pronounced. At least 6 satellite communication radomes were destroyed. These radomes are critical for protecting the satellite antennas that link our central command networks. The destruction of these systems likely represents a significant blow to command and control capabilities in the region. Multiple craters and burnt areas were also spotted near facilities at Camp Arifjan and Camp Behring. The human cost in Kuwait has also been tragically high. On 1st March, an Iranian drone strike targeted a US makeshift command center near Kuwait's Shuaibah port. The attack killed 6 US Army Reserve soldiers. Furthermore, a report from CBS News, cited by regional media, revealed that the attack on American forces in Kuwait was more severe than initially announced. In addition to the fatalities, dozens of US soldiers were injured with wounds and burns, with the situation necessitating the amputation of at least one limb. More than 30 military personnel were still receiving treatment in hospitals as a result of the attack. The assault was not confined to the Gulf states. To the north, in Jordan, a key Western ally, critical American air defense systems were taken out. Reports from Iran's Tasnim news agency, later supported by satellite imagery analyzed by CNN, confirmed that an Iranian strike destroyed a $300 million NTPY-2 radar system at Jordan's Muwaf Salti Air Base. This radar is a key component of the Terminal High Altitude Area Defense, or THAAD, system. Munitions experts have stated that the loss of even a single one of these radars significantly impacts combat operations and leaves a gaping hole in the regional missile defense shield. The Jordanian army acknowledged that 11 missiles and drones from Iran were not intercepted. Saudi Arabia, a regional heavyweight, also found itself on the front line. Loud explosions were heard in the capital, Riyadh. The primary target appeared to be the Prince Sultan Air Base, which hosts dozens of US warplanes. While Saudi air defenses successfully intercepted many missiles and drones, satellite imagery revealed damage. At a radar site near the base, a tent previously used to shelter a radar system for a nearby THAAD battery was badly charred, with debris scattered around it. The Saudi Foreign Ministry issued a strong statement condemning the blatant Iranian aggression against its neighbors, warning that continued strikes on its territory or energy infrastructure could trigger retaliation and lead Riyadh to allow US forces to launch operations from Saudi bases. Even Iraq was not spared. In the northern city of Erbil, US air defenses were activated to intercept Iranian missiles over the Erbil air base, which serves as a hub for US forces conducting training and intelligence operations in the region. The cumulative effect of these strikes is staggering. An analysis by the New York Times, published in the days following the initial assault, found that at least 17 US military, diplomatic, and air defense sites across the Middle East had been damaged. At least 11 of these are military bases or installations, representing nearly half of all such American facilities in the region. A subsequent analysis by Agence France-Presse raised that number even higher, counting at least 25 Iranian missile or drone attacks targeting sites linked to the United States between 28 February and 11 March. These attacks targeted 13 different military sites housing American personnel, with Al Udeid in Qatar and Al Dhafra in the UAE each being hit at least twice. US officials have told news outlets that these strikes show Iran was far more prepared for this war than many in the Trump administration had anticipated. Iran's strategy appears to be focused on disrupting the US Army's ability to communicate and coordinate, and systematically damaging American air defense systems. One American security source pointed out that Iran is showing an ability to adapt to changing realities on the battlefield and appears to be directing its attacks towards what it considers American weaknesses. The human toll on American forces is now coming into focus. Approximately 140 US service members have been wounded, with 8 killed, in Iran's retaliatory attacks since the campaign began. As night falls over the Middle East on this 28th day of February, the situation remains terrifyingly fluid. Commercial aviation has ground to a halt, with airlines like Air France, KLM, and Lufthansa cancelling flights to and from the region. The US Abraham Lincoln and the US Gerald R. Ford carrier strike groups are positioned in the region, a massive naval armada serving as both a deterrent and a launchpad for potential further strikes. The Strait of Hormuz has been declared unsafe for shipping by Iran's Revolutionary Guards, an action that is sure to send global oil prices skyrocketing. The world is now watching and waiting. The first round of this war has seen Iran successfully project power across the entire Gulf, striking the heart of the American military presence. The question now is how the United States will respond to this direct assault on its bases, its equipment, and its soldiers. We will continue to monitor these developments around the clock and bring you updates as this historic and terrifying situation unfolds. This is the Global News Desk. Stay safe.